Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 1 of the second color palette challenge. This is the one we're going to be using, and this is the page. So here we are, this is the page. And so today I thought we would work on the chain. And for the chain, I'm just using a simple gray kind of combo. And I grabbed some warm grays. And the reason I grabbed warm grays is because these colors seem a bit warm. They don't seem like cool colors. I really wouldn't know. I just go by what it looks like. So I have warm gray 3, warm gray 4, warm gray 6, and black. And these are in the polys. So I'm just going to get started. And the way I do it with my polys is I layer them. So I put down a base and then I come in with the darker colors and I just layer them up. So I'm just going to base this whole chain. This part back here is pretty small. And I'll probably just do, I don't know if I'm going to do all of the links with you guys here, but I'll do some of them, and then per usual, when I come back for part 2, they will be done. I also might try and do 2 versions of this video and kind of see which one gets the most watches. So I'll probably do one with me talking, which is the one, if you hear me talking, then this is what you hear. And then I might do another one that's kind of sped up to music. I'm gonna try. Now, if you don't see it, that means I ultimately ended up not doing it. Because I also need to put the colors I'm using on the screen as well, so I have to make sure I figure out how to do that. So right now I'm just putting a base of warm gray 3 down on all the links, and it's not perfect. I'm just scribbling some down, just some color, just dark enough to where you can tell that it's no longer white. You guys probably can even tell a little bit if you look hard enough, but this is just where I start. And this is most of the time when I'm using my polys. I usually, about 90% of the time, go from light to dark. And I'm just going to do that. I'm just basing all of them. And I am including grays, blacks, and skin tones in this color palette. They don't count towards the color palette, so you can use them. They don't really count, in my opinion. So what will be cool is once we finish this one, we will actually have 2 of the challenge pages finished. And the cool thing about this one is if you are coloring along and you actually post your finished page in the Facebook group or my Instagram and use the hashtag bubbles color challenge. Let me double check, make sure that's the right one. Yep, bubbles color challenge. you will be entered into a giveaway contest. The page must be finished, and you have to make sure that you use the hashtag. And if you're on Instagram, make sure you tag me in it. Otherwise, I may not see it. So that is for those who are coloring along. Once I finish my page, you have a week to post yours before I start drawing for the winner. All right, now I am moving on to Warm Gray 4. So these ones back here, it's not going to be too much because they're very tiny. So you won't see too much shading in the ones back here. But you can still try to get some kind of shade. So it is going to be just for those who are coloring along with me. I won't tell you what the prize is yet, but I have chosen a prize. So if you're coloring along, make sure you post your page. Sometimes I won't do it for every challenge, or who knows, maybe I will. But as it stands right now, I probably won't do it for every challenge, but after this giveaway, the giveaways will be a surprise. So I will not say when I am going to have the giveaway. I'm just going to look and see who finished, who posted it, who used the hashtag, and then I'm going to pull from that. So this will be the one time where I am giving you guys a heads up on when there will be a giveaway. I thought that would be kind of fun. And if you're watching this to music, then you may or may not know. So you will know that there's a giveaway, but you won't know that there will be surprise giveaways. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of mix it up a little bit. Just have some kind of surprise challenges. Surprise giveaways to the challenge. And sometimes it may not even be random. Sometimes it will be which picture I think is the best, or which one looked like, came really close to the color palette. It will vary. But most of the time it'll probably be random, if I'm being honest. Just to be kind of fair. But we'll see. Sometimes I'll change it up. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see a little better. And right now I'm just kind of mapping out where the shading is going to be. And I'm going to stop at this one, and I'm going to do those here. So I'm moving on to my next color. Warm Gray 6. This is almost kind of like a really dark silver, kind of like I can't think of the name. It's not silver, but it looks like silver. If you know what it is, let me know down in the comments. So when I was looking at this page, I noticed that there was a tiny little hole right here. And I think that's where those kids are going. at least that's the kind of story that I came up with. I think they're going inside of his collar, and maybe that's where they live at. And maybe the collar is connected to the cube, so the cube is their home. Or maybe he stole their home, and they're trying to find a way to get it back. But the bull doesn't know he stole their home, so he's a little confused as to why suddenly he has this collar around his neck, and he doesn't seem too happy about it. Either that, or maybe this is their pet, and their pet carries their home on their back for them. I don't know. I thought it was interesting though, because I'm like, these kids are climbing up this chain with this bull guy. He doesn't seem too happy to see him anyway. He doesn't look happy, and he doesn't look mad. So I'm not really sure. You know, maybe he knows him. Maybe he's just kind of indifferent. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of these kids climbing up my chain. They're here every week. Where are their parents? It's probably what he's really thinking, but he's not really angry with them. He's just kind of tired of seeing them, maybe. So as you build the color, you can see it kind of changing a little bit. It doesn't look flat. As you start adding the darker colors to it, you can see it kind of bringing out the depth to the chain. And then also there, when I zoom back out, I'm going to show you there's not just this chain in front of him. There's some links behind him as well, so don't miss those. Make sure you see those just in case, because I know sometimes when I'm coloring and I think I have everything, and then I put the colors away and I don't write the colors down or something like that, and then I notice that there's like another piece, and I'm like, uh-oh, now I have to either hopefully remember just from me just putting them away, or I have to try and match them, which is not always fun. So now I'm taking black, and this one down here is going to be a little hard to do, so I'm just going to put a little bit. But you can actually skip this part on these links because you can't really tell anyway. And as you get towards the bigger links, then you can start adding black. But for like the first 3, you probably don't need to, but usually I would get really close to the page right here, but I'm not going to stick my head in the camera. I'll probably go outside the lines a little, but that's okay. I'm actually going to sharpen this one a little different. I had it kind of sharpened to a long point, and that was because I was assuming I was going to be using kind of a blunter long point, but I mean I did, but I didn't use it as long as I think I did, so it was kind of a pointless sharpening there a little bit. So the black is just for the darkest areas, so you don't need a lot of the black. Just in those dark areas, like where the chains kind of connect, you don't need a lot of this. So I'm hoping that this page turns out just as well as the first page. Now, just like the first page, I don't have any of the colors pre-planned out. I plan them out literally right before I start recording, or as I go while I'm recording. So sometimes it's kind of like you guys are learning and picking the colors right with me, because I don't always have them planned out. Just so you know. I know some YouTubers, they like to have their colors planned out and ready to go and things like that. And they have their reasons for doing so. But I don't always like to do that. Sometimes I like to pick them with you, because I might pick the colors out and then I might change my mind. I might be like, I was going to do this, but I changed my mind. This is what I'm doing now, type of thing. So um, it just really depends. But for the most part, I'll pick them out like right before I start recording, just so that I try to limit the amount of times I go, no, I don't like it, I'm going to change my mind. Because if I do it like days before or something like that, I'm most likely going to be like, what was I thinking? Let me pick something different. So, if you see me change my mind after picking out colors, know that that is normal for me. Okay, now I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to grab warm gray 6 and I'm going to bring it up just a bit. Also, it is still windy. So I meant to give you a heads up at the beginning, but Yuki will probably bark. We're just ignoring him, because the more we ignore him, the less he barks. I think it's mostly for attention. Like, hey, there's something going on outside. Look, look, look. And if we respond to it, he's gonna think it's okay to do it every single time he hears a noise. And it's not always people. Sometimes it's, you know, a can or something rolling down the street, or, you know, something, a shadow, a bird flying by the window type of thing. And I don't want him to just bark at anything. So we just kind of like, if we continue to kind of ignore it, especially when it's nothing, I'm noticing he's barking a lot less when we do that. Just pretend like we don't hear him. Now, if it's something like someone's knocking on the door or being obnoxious by the door or something like that, then yes. But when it's absolutely nothing, we tend to ignore him. Okay, so this is warm gray 4 now. And I'm just working it in. And right now, someone is downstairs in the front. I don't know what they're doing. I'm just having a random conversation, but they're obnoxiously loud about it. So he's like doing this low bark. And it's kind of like, hey, do you hear these guys? And he's just kind of staring at the window like, what are you guys doing out there, type of thing. And he's very nosy. So he wants to see and hear everything. So this is basically, what the chain is going to look like. And I haven't decided on if the collar is going to be the same color, which is why I didn't start with the collar. So if you want your color to be the same color, you can, or you can wait until I choose on if I'm gonna have it the same color or not. So now I have back to my warm gray 3, which is the lightest color. And I might actually even add a little bit of white, just so that some of these links can retain their shine, kind of. I don't want it to be like super gray, but I don't want it to be super, super light either, which is why I added a lot of the darker grays instead of the lighter warm grays. So I'm just kind of going in, tying these together. And then those are too light to do it. So let me grab white, and you can use, excuse me, you can use any white. I'm just gonna grab my polys, my white from my polys. I also have a kind of a pastel white. I'll pull that out. I might need that later. Let me just put, I moved my pencil cases. They're like up there now. All right. And so I'm just gonna put it right here. Just so that it can have the shine. And I'm not putting it down in the dark area. I'm just going over where that warm gray 3 is. I'm not tying it to the lighter areas. I mean, to the darker areas. Now, as you get down here, you can go over the whole thing so that they can all blend. Because these were the smaller ones, so we kind of just threw color at them so they can look like they're blended. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out. Now, there's the chain here. There's a chain. There's some links here. There's some links here. And there's also, if you look on this side, here and here. So I think it's coming around the back like this. I don't know, that's off screen somewhere. It's probably looping around like this and coming from this one. So we're gonna leave it there because I don't want this video too long. But when we come back for part 2, all of these will be done. So stay tuned for that. And I'm not sure what we'll be doing next in part 2. Maybe the trees. You guys know I like to build up to the main thing. So the bull will probably be last. We'll probably do like the background, the trees and stuff before we do this guy. All right. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on your way out. If you super enjoyed it, share the video with your friends, your coloring friends. They might enjoy watching it as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.